Hogwarts Legacy is a third-party adventure with RPG elements, where the main character is a fifth-year student of Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. It's a single product, complete from start to finish. No microtransaction, extra purchase, loot boxes, or in-game skin stores for the hero. It's also the only game where you can enjoy the beauty of the world that John Rowling invented. But first and first, the main character is a 50-year-old wizard, who is invited to begin studying at Hogwarts School right in the 5th year. There were only 3 such cases in the chronology in the magic world, and they are associated with the ability of such students to use ancient magic, an unexplored source of magic. And around this ability of the hero is built a global plot. Do not wait for revelation, unexpected turns, deep philosophical passages. This game is about the world of magician, who bravely rush to fight evil with a magic wand at their side. The story does not annoy. It does not irritate, it is finishing to follow it. Everything the spirit of the Harry Potter. But the developers were able to surprise you with additional tasks, and in particular the companion task, Sebastian Selov, Native One, Poppy Dobring. These 3 will be the main interest of those who will carry the weight of the Hogwarts Legacy. Each of these 3 has their own tragedy and a backstory. Each student in need of friends and helper. Without detail, the companion storylines are worthy of well thought and your own familiarity with them. The rest of the side quests vary in quality and more often than not turn out to be familiar fetch or find kill scheme. But even such simple quests are captivating with stories and sense of presence in the magical world. Going to an opportune class, I'm stopped by a student and asked to run to the music room and fix the bust on the tower. To pester the principal, who then remind him of the wedding. On running through an unfamiliar village, and you see a rampant woman. After questioning her, she answered that she wants to summon a troll and put the creature to protect the village. But the troll is stupid and it does more harm. How not to help? Interesting fact, not many games allow you to play a nasty hero, who seems to have completed the mission, but took the quest item for himself, or a cheat customer, and now the whole school calls him coward and comes up with harmful nicknames. And this is a cool touch, which gives a nasty person within the scenario. Another thing is a joy to the heart. They are now getting away from the passage task, like chasing butterfly or finding Chinese cabbage killer, but you still do them. Not because of the reward, but only because of desire to be in this world a little more. No matter what you say, Avalanche has success in creating the best Hogwarts, and it's running in Harry Potter video games. The Wizarding and Wizardry School in Hogwarts Legacy is a work of art. In the open world game, have spent so much time exploring corridors, rooms, collecting trivia or fact pages. Hogwarts is a pleasure to walk around, observing students, ghosts, pictures, some will even throw a few phrases in the player's direction or play a piece of music. The school feels alive, filled with secrets from beginning to the end, and you didn't want to leave during the walkthrough. Even in 40 hours you couldn't find all the secrets in Hogwarts. Iconic locations were moved carefully: the clock tower, the courtyard, the great hall, the Chamber of Magic. Except that the changing staircases were made spiral, but it's not even an egg and can be easily explained by the internal logic of the world. Avalanche achieved the main thing, the Potterian. Fans will spend hours exploring Hogwarts, making screenshots of familiar places and discussing the game. Hell, I've done it myself. The rest of the open world north of the school has also been relocated with surprising care. Hogsmeade Village, the Forbidden Forest, both of which will also make players spend a lot more time in the game. What can be said for the rest of the open world regions? Don't get me wrong, Hogwarts Legacy is extraordinarily beautiful, but it's filled with mediocre activities, bandit and goblin camps, overgrown spider nests, ancient magic sources, animal habits. There are a dozen kind of points of interest. Clean them up will not force the passage of additional mission, except that a couple of animals for their own use to catch. Otherwise, content for the sake of content for these who want to stay in Hogwarts Legacy is longer. You can move around the world both on legs and feet. Taming some of the larger animals will even let you ride them. And if you tame a hippogriff or a turtle, you will even be able to fly. but this will only happen closer to the middle of the game. And until then, you will have to be content with the broom, control of the litter, but the way it intuitive, it's pleasure to fly on it. Separate mention should be made of this game soundtrack. Every tune in place, every note sets in the right mood, no matter where the player is, in the corridor of Hogwarts, inside the cave, the spider, or the middle of the room of equipment. Such a hitting soundtrack has not been seen in the open world games for a long and again long time. The room or of requirement which can be filled with tables for brewing potion and growing plants, is a must for those who want to delve deeper into Hogwarts legacy. On a normal difficulty level, using potion or battle plants in battle never came in handy. I even turned off their display in the interface settings, and only used them when required by the teacher's task. So then the timers of waiting for how fast to go or badian and boil potion are not as scary as they looked at the presentation of the project. The same applies to the system of loot in the game. It's only necessary to comply with the trend, improving equipment with the resources, pumping up characteristic with stones. All this is necessary only for those who decide to get root in the game for a long time and get know all the content. Run around the world just changing things to a power level higher than yours. So the player of attack and defense correspond to the level of the player. But the fashion component of Hogwarts Legacy forces you to pay attention. Thank those developers for not making you run around like a colorful peacock in mismatched pieces of equipment. In this game, there is a change of appearance. The player is given to choose clothing from the collection and apply it to the item worn. Hide glasses and a hijab, change the cape and clothes, choose gloves to match the color of the scarf. If you are afraid, then you have to Greenham. Go to sweep of the open world. For pumping, this is not in the case. By completing additional task exploring Hogwarts and Hogsmeade, manage to pump your check to 10 level higher than any story task required. Hogwarts Legacy is designed for the player's enjoyment, not to try to keep him longer and cram him with another microtransaction. Learn Ubisoft. All interaction with the world is through spells. There are over 30 of them, and each has a plane in both combat and travel through the game world. Exploring the caves and dungeon will have the most object Wingardium Leviosa and turn on Lumos to clear the ways from the devil's sinners. Solving riddles will require using Rupus, Repulsive Attracting spells, Insider's Fire spell and Gladius Freezing spell. Pumping location talents is surprisingly useful. Unlocking enchantment for characteristic points is greatly important, so Avalanche has taken a truthful approach to the question: how do you weave pumping into the world of the Harry Potter? The talent tab is divided into 5 sections, among which there's even dark magic pumping. Standard spells can be made cursed, deal more damage to cursed enemies, and then kill all cursed enemies with one Abracadabra. A walking dark wizard build I tried out. New spells are unlocked as you complete plot and additional Hogwarts teacher assignments. The latter look like they came from an MMO. Apply a potion in battle, use Mandrake on a few enemies, burst and burst while flying on a broomstick, but the quests are executed so quickly that the joy of the spell obtained overrides any resentment. Unforgivable spells are easy to miss. Try to extra check to test time. A player who chooses the wrong dialogue in convention with the companion loses the chance to learn a forbidden spell, but it's good that there's a choice. Not for nothing a spell called Unforgivable, and it's unlikely that goody Gryffindor would want to learn such a spell. I should say at once, the version for PlayStation 5 is close to perfect. In 40 hours of pacing got a couple of non-crucial bugs, which were treated by relocating from the control point, and there was one crash. Neither problem is performance in quality mode, nor with the disappearance of texture was noted. The only warning for owners of next-gen consoles is don't turn on performance mode. 60 frames per second is achieved by barbaric methods. The first time I had to see chunk of level geometry missing from the game to support the frame rate, and ray tracing breaks the lighting the original placed by the developers, many times more pleasant looking. Choose quality mode and unlock the frame rate if you can stand the cinematic 30 FPS. Hogwarts Legacy is a major hit of 2023 for millions of Harry Potter fans. myself included. It's easy to find a dozen of minutes in it, game design problems, or to point out the unreliability of the simulation of every student's life at Hogwarts. But instead I will say otherwise. If you love Potterina, adore the magical world created by Rowling, and want to get into a school of witchcraft and wizardry, not as a boy who survived run by, and don't listen to the evil tongues, this is one big quality fan service that will take 50 or maybe more hours out of your life to fully explore and make you go back and rewatch yourself more than once. If Harry Potter is indifferent, however, the game is not for you. There is not something for everyone here, because Hogwarts Legacy was created by fans and for fans. This characterizes it in the best possible way, but it have to desire to experience the world that John Rowling invented. Perhaps this is your letter from Hogwarts.